Welcome to the Wholesaling Inc. podcast. I'm your host, Chris Arnold. As always, grateful, excited, thankful that you're with us today. This is one of those podcasts where I just come at you straight from the gut, from the heart. I have really a message, something I want to share with all of you today that has honestly had a pretty profound influence on my experience being an entrepreneur. This is something over time, throughout the years, I really felt was really able to be laced together with the right coaches and mentors, and honestly, really sifting through a lot of the challenging experiences I had being an entrepreneur. And so I want to share a couple ideas with you today that I really think for a lot of you listening could really change the way that you're experiencing being an entrepreneur, a business owner at a very fundamental level. So what I'm going to do today is really called reframing. Reframing is just a great word that's used in psychology. It's the technique of creating a different way of looking at things. And when we do that, that shifts our thinking and primarily shifts our behavior, the way that we experience things. So a lot of times, if you understand coaching and counseling and so forth, when you go in and you're having a difficult, circumstance or challenge in your life, primarily what you're trying to do in that process is to reframe, to look at things differently. Because when you do that, your complete outlook shifts. And therefore, the way that you've been looking at something no longer tends to come at you in the way in which it was before, because you're looking at that thing through an entirely different lens. And so I'm going to reframe something for you today, and I'm going to answer this question. What is the purpose of business? Let me ask that question again, because that's a big question. What is the purpose of business? That's a question that we ask in regards to a lot of things. What is the purpose of marriage? What is the purpose of fatherhood? What is the purpose of life? It is a very big question. It's a very philosophical question. And I believe that how you and how I answer this question is honestly paramount to the experience that we will have being business owners. Because it goes right down into our belief system. And something I really think that's important for you to understand, and this is true for every human being, this is why I think we meet different people that behave differently from us, and we want to understand why is that. And I can tell you, it all runs through this grid, and that is that our ideas create beliefs. And these beliefs that we have create principles. And then these principles that we live by create the behavior that you see in our lives. And so we all, at a very, if we want to say, core level, have bought in somehow or pulled ideas from someplace, whether that be parents or whether that be friends or books that we've read or mentors or church or whatever that is. We have believed these fundamental ideas, and they have shifted to principles and behaviors in our life. And so what I want to do is I want to present to you three central ideas that I believe about business. And here's the great thing about life. You get to decide what your core ideas are going to be. And I want to share these with you today because these three ideas, if I look at the fruit in which they have produced in my life as an entrepreneur, have really shifted everything for me. So I want to present these to you as not something I'm coming in saying is absolute, but more something that I'm saying that I have come to really believe at a deep level that has given me such a, I'm going to say, much more positive experience, much more meaning to why I wake up every day and put up with everything we have to as a business owner and as entrepreneurs. So let me give you the first fundamental idea. What is the purpose of business? I believe, first and foremost, that business is a conduit for personal growth. Business is a conduit for personal growth. Above wealth, above status, above freedom, above happiness, The reason that business exists is to make you, at a core level, a fundamentally better human being, a better man, a better woman. This also applies in the same context of marriage and family. I believe that marriage, I believe that being a father, a husband, a wife, above being happy, the purpose of marriage, a purpose of being in the role of a father or a mother is to help me become a better human being as a whole. And if I live under that premise, like if I truly believe that, my response to suffering and challenges and the pain that those roles bring to my life completely change. So when it gets really, really hard in my marriage, rather than looking at that and saying, well, you know what? I believe that the purpose of marriage is to make me happy. I'm no longer happy. I'm out of here because the suffering is taking away from my happiness. If I believe that it's a conduit for personal growth, I will actually lean into the suffering because I understand that the greater the pain in the process, the better husband that I will become to my wife. I want to tell you that the same is true for being an entrepreneur. And if you embrace the idea that the purpose of being an entrepreneur, the purpose of business is a conduit for personal growth, I'm telling you that when those challenges come down the pipeline, the question that you begin to ask is, well, why? Why is it so hard? And why is all of this happening in my business? And why am I not closing deals? And why? That's what we do. And if I come in and I'm planting this understanding that the reason these things happen is because in those moments, in those times of pain, that's when you will actually grow the most. And that's when you will become a better entrepreneur. And so my entire experience as an entrepreneur shifted tremendously when I began to understand that business was a conduit for personal growth. And I'm going to tell you, I find that people live, and you listening, under one of two philosophies. Either you believe in do, have, be, or you believe in be, do, have. Let me explain this to you. You either wake up every day and you wake up with the mindset that I need to do, I need to orchestrate, I need to come in and literally grind, burn it at both ends in order to have what I want to have out of my life. And once I have what I want to have out of my life, then I will become the person that I want to become. But what I want to challenge you with is that is actually completely backwards. Because if you look at people that have grinded it out and have what they want to have, the problem is, and I know we as a society and particularly American culture look at this, we scratch our heads at the people that become and who they become on the other side of that. They're not the people that they sought out to become. They actually become more miserable, more unhappy with their lives, actually more selfish, not more generous with the money that they make. So what I want to challenge you with and to think about is I really believe that it's a be, do, have process, that I focus all of my time on becoming the very best man that I can be, the very, obviously, if you're listening, best woman that you can be, in order that out of who I am, then from that, I make the right decisions. And from those right decisions, doing the right things, then I will have what I want in my life. And there's a big, big difference when I do in order to have, in order to become, versus I become so that I do the right things in order that eventually I might have my heart's desires. And so if you're listening, I'm telling you, you're living under one of those two philosophies. And what I want you to understand is business is a conduit for personal growth. And if you understand that first and foremost, your process is in becoming, then I promise you, you will do the right things that business requires of you. And eventually you will have the things that you got into business to originally have. So that's the first central idea I can tell you from me that philosophically changed me at a very core level. The second idea about business, to answer the question, what is the purpose of business, is this. I believe that business is a delivery system for you to get to be you, the real you. I believe that over time, you should allow yourself to wake up and to have a business experience that allows you to play to your gifts and your strengths every single day. It should fundamentally allow you to wake up and do what only you can do, to literally wake up and all of the things that stress you out from a standpoint of not being in your strength, your weaknesses, all of those things. I believe that business, if set up properly, allows you to wake up every day and shine doing the very few things that you do as a giftedness and strengths above everyone else. Because I believe that every individual has 1 to 2 to 3 strengths that they have that make them unique from every other person on the planet. And so what I want you to understand is, if you live under this mindset that you are building your business so that you can wake up and not have to be someone that you're not. The whole word that I want to give you here is congruent. You should be able to wake up every day and walk into any room, step into any situation, whether that be in your life, your family, your business. And here's the goal. It's for you to be the same person. To be congruent, you should not have to be a different way in business than you are behind closed doors when you are at home. That is not the purpose of business. Business is meant to amplify who you are at a core. And once this happens, then it allows you to really fulfill what your unique contribution to the world is. And so when I began to understand that I was shaping my business, not setting it up that the primary goal is to make as much money as possible, because if I live under that premise, then I start doing a lot of things that I don't want to do in the name of making money. But if I wake up every day and I set my business and my sights on the fact that every day this business should allow me to be me more and more over time. This is why we hire. This is why we delegate. This is why we bring in people that allow us to play to our strengths and pick up our weaknesses. I'm telling you, it will shift everything. And I'm going to tell you, from a decision-making standpoint, it will be the greatest filter that you ever have as you look at additional business opportunities. And here's why. I can tell you that when a business opportunity comes down the pipeline for me, I don't look at it and ask the question, well, how much more money is this going to make me? How much happier is this going to make me? How much more influence and status is this opportunity going to bring to me? This is the grid and filter in which most people make business decisions. What I do is I look at that business opportunity and I ask this simple question: is this business going to allow me a stage, a platform? Is it going to be a delivery system for me to get to be more of me every day? And I am telling you, when I make decisions based on that grid versus the money and the power and the influence and the status grid, I am saying yes to things at a different level. And I am saying no to things that in other ways I would have said yes to in the previous past when I didn't look at business this way. And so what I want to encourage you with and help you understand and replace as an idea for you to consider creating as a core idea is that your business is a delivery system for you to be you. So I want to give you the last one. I believe that the purpose of business is it's a vehicle for impact. I believe that business is a stewardship, and I believe that we are all accountable for what we do with the businesses that we have started and been given. I believe that the purpose of your business, which grows your influence, is to speak up for those who have no influence. The purpose of influence is not for you to have greater status and power so that more people can serve you and that you can get what you want at a higher level and your life becomes easier and more convenient and everything you need is at your fingertip. And when you walk into a room, everyone sizes you up and you hear people whispering. I mean, I'm honest, that's the path that people look at the purpose of growing business. And when I'm telling you, the purpose of your influence and the reason that you're growing it, and that's what business does. because business grows status, and your status grows influence as your money increases. And as what you're doing has more impact in the community that's around you, what you're fundamentally doing at a core level is growing your influence, and influence is your leadership. And what I'm telling you is that your leadership is there to speak up for those that need it. And I honestly have come to terms with the fact that unless you combine purpose with profit, you will have completely missed the mark on why your company exists. Purpose and profit have to work together. And if you find people that live and have profit and never combine purpose with it, I am telling you that you're going to find people that are completely lost. You must bring those two together. And when you do that, your business fundamentally exists to serve the least, the lost, the last, the left out, and the looked over. And so I have come, and again, I'm giving you my belief system, the core ideas in which I live by. I wake up every day under the idea that my business is not here so that I can make more money and buy bigger toys. Because if I live under that belief, and I'm telling you, I've watched people live under this, you're an empty entrepreneur at that level. But if you wake up every day understanding that the purpose of your business is stewardship, and that stewardship is meant to serve some social cause. This is what we call social entrepreneurship, that there is a cause, a fundamental group of people, a thing, a problem that exists in the world. There is something that is requiring money and resources and leadership in order to improve the lives of people. If you set your sights and understand that your business exists and you figure out what that is, I'm telling you, there is not anything else that will get you out of bed in the morning faster than that. Because the problem is, if you are living for yourself and your business is serving you, it's not enough to get you through all of the challenges that business is going to bring, because business is hard. It's hard as hell, to be honest with you. So I want to recap this for you. I'm answering the question that I've had to answer for myself, and I'm giving you 3 central ideas to consider. And that is, the purpose of business is, number 1, a conduit for personal growth. Number 2, a delivery system for you to get to be you. And number 3, it's a vehicle to impact the world around you. That's my 3 beliefs. And I wanted to share these with you because the longer I've been in business, the more I have really gone back that these 3 core ideas have affected so much of my belief system, down to the principles that I live by, down to the behavior that you will see exist in my life. And I'm giving you all the way back to the root of those core ideas that have helped me get to where I am at today. And again, I'm not taking credit for these ideas by any means. I am just telling you, as I have listened and learned and read and brought the right influences into my life and spent time reflecting on experiences and a lot of deep dive work on self-awareness and self-acceptance. Those listening have gone through that route, know how challenging that can be. I'm just giving you from a heartfelt standpoint what has impacted my life. And I want to leave you with this. I can't remember who quoted it, but it's something that always stuck out to me. Without a deep understanding to the question why, the price that business will ask of you will end up being too high. And so I honestly believe that we see the fallout with as many people that get into business and don't make it, because we know that, 90% fell in the first year, another 50% will fail in the second year statistically. And you look around and business entrepreneurs are dropping like flies. And I'm going to tell you at a very fundamental level, the reason I believe that is because they've never answered the core question of why. What is the purpose of business? And if I have a deep, what I would call planted purpose down in my absolute depths of my soul, whatever business will throw at me, whatever challenges come down the pipeline, it will always be worth paying that price, because I understand that I am living and building something that is way beyond myself and much greater than just serving myself. So hope this was valuable to you today. Wanted to come in from time to time and just straight from the gut share with you the things that have honestly helped me make it 15 years in this crazy up and down roller coaster, drive you to your knees process of being an entrepreneur and business owner. So thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, we'll catch you soon when we add more value. Talk to you later.